Okay, here's one for you. I went to this restaurant last week that sells free-range chicken, which the way I understand it is a message to the consumer that this chicken was not abused in any way by being cooped up. In fact, now that I think about it, we got the expression cooped up from chickens, right? Chickens live in coops. When we feel like chickens, we say we're cooped up. But we're also the first civilization in history to coop the chicken, then identify with the chicken by saying that we're cooped up, then decide that the chicken shouldn't be cooped up anymore because the chicken is probably exactly like us. Are you following this? In other words, we want the chicken to live an extremely happy, healthy, and carefree life right up until the moment when we hack its head off with a hatchet. I pointed this out to the waiter. He said, all of our chicken is free range. And I said, he doesn't look very free there on that plate. But of course, he didn't understand what I was talking about. Listen to me. It's a chicken. You can put him in a cage and tell him he's got a lot of space, and he'll believe you. If you wanted to, you could put up a picture of the Mojave Desert on all the walls of his pen, and even if he only had 2 feet of space, he'd think he was running thousands of miles. I repeat, it's a chicken. His brain is smaller than an amoeba. Not only that, what good does it do to let the chicken run around on the free range? All that means is that he can put any disgusting thing he wants to in his mouth, and then you end up eating it next week with your poulet a la Sauterne Palermo. Chickens will eat anything. Chickens will eat each other. Chickens will eat their own. Let's just not dwell on what chickens will eat. It's not like the chicken is going to be out there dancing the achy breaky heart, you know. I've never seen chickens actually exercising or anything. Free range. It sounds like they're chickens that sail across the prairie like Camaros on the interstate. You know, chickens have legs like pipe cleaners with pasta hanging off the back. You could stuff a chicken in a cereal box and the chicken would get more exercise just from pumping its legs like a bicycle racer trying to get out of the box. If you could get a chicken to run 2 miles, it would do it by jumping 1 foot at a time, stopping, eating some crud off the ground, then jumping 1 more foot. Why couldn't the chicken just jump from one side of the cage to the other side of the cage, get the same aerobic benefit? In other words, it's a chicken. It's a gall-darn chicken. Don't people read the World Book anymore? God. Speaking of baffling modern trends, Halloween 3 is coming up now for obvious reasons. You know, we're less than a week away from the big hoo-ha spook night. But to tell you the truth, I've got problems with this flick. When you think Halloween, what do you think? Splatter City, right? All-time classic of the drive-in screen. We're talking the original Jamie Lee Curtis, creepola with a butcher knife, hypodermic in the eyeball, barf on the floor mats, showstopper. We're talking a movie where anybody can die at any moment. So I have the following questions. Numero uno, where the hell is Donald Pleasance? How can we have believable corpses in a Halloween flick unless Donald shows up 30 seconds after they die and says, you don't know what you're dealing with here, only I can stop him? Numero 2-0, where the hell is Jamie Lee Curtis? And I know if we can't have Jamie Lee Curtis because she's off making indoor bull stuff somewhere, then where is the other little nympho who provides the raw meat for the slasher? We've got a tradition here to uphold. Numero 3-0, where is the slasher? Where is Michael Myers, the guy with white stuff smeared on his face who walks around breathing like a hemikuda and picking up spear guns that people leave laying out in their yard? If this guy's not in the movie, I'm sorry, people, it's not a sequel to Halloween. That's all right. I'm going to vent later. I don't even want to get started right now. I'm already mad about the free-range chicken thing, but we'll talk at the breaks. What we've got here is 9 dead bodies, 15 zombies, 2 breasts, which Ted, of course, made us edit out for TNT, so you won't see those, a little zombie kickboxing, exploding car, fingers through the eyeballs, drunk who gets his head ripped off, a lasered fat woman, hands roll, arms roll, and yes, heads roll, 2 stars, and I'm being generous with the 2 stars. So check it out, and I'll see you at the first break.
back, video. Welcome back, video. Welcome back. Welcome back, video creeps. What up, you guys?
What up? Welcome to my channel, Video Creep. Make sure you hit subscribe.
We're going to go over this one time and one time only.
Hey everybody, have you heard the news? Joe Bob is back in town. Joe Bob is back in town. Joe Bob is back in town.
Hello, internet fans. Do you want to learn about horror movies that you never knew existed? Do you miss the video store but not the late fees? Then join us at 3B Video, where we talk about stuff like this, and this, and this. If you'll excuse me, I've got some videotapes to return. You like Huey Lewis in the news?
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the Friday Night Showcase. I am your host, Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. Very happy to be joining you at this special time because it is Joe Bob night. The Last Drive-in Halloween Hideaway is starting at 9 p.m. That's usually when we start our show. But, of course, I'm not going to try and compete with Joe Bob, and I wouldn't expect anybody to watch me anyway. So, but you guys are here now, and I'm very excited about this. I have some very special guests, and I'm going to be very excited to bring them on in just a second. I want to introduce a couple of you started commenting because I did show Joe Bob's original Monster Vision review of Halloween 3 when he showed it. And, I think we can all agree that Halloween 3 is probably going to be a movie that's going to show up sometime tonight. If not, and we are all surprised, maybe, just maybe, we will all watch it on our own. But we got Whiskey here. Hey, Whiskey Tea Fighters, thank you for joining in. I remember this. This was my introduction to Halloween 3, and you loved every minute of it, I bet. I will admit I watched it pretty young myself. This might have been my introduction to it as well. I don't really remember my first time viewing. And I was young, and I remember maybe not really liking it because it didn't have Michael Myers. But as I got older, it stuck with me. And let's see, we got Fading Arcader 1. I was definitely in the anti-Halloween 3 forever. And then I actually watched. It's like judging a movie by the book it's based on. Judging on its own, it's pretty good. I like that sentiment. Whiskey replies, it's such a good little flick. And you did. I mean, you kind of hate it, but you love it. It's that thing that has it all. And it has Tom Atkins, which is, not beardless, but mustache-less Tom Atkins of the 80s, so that's very weird. But here, let's bring on... Oh, wait, does he have a mustache in it? Or am I thinking of The Fog? Remind me in the comments. Thanks. And I want to bring on my first guest, all the way from the Windy City, and my favorite horror cook, and yours, Mr. Brian Biddle. What's going on, buddy?
Heyo, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
It's awesome to have you back on the show, man. It's always a pleasure. I was watching you earlier. You pulled your best Darcy impersonation. I loved it.
Daddy.
I know it was an older show, but still, man, I needed to learn how to make that meatloaf.
Yeah, that meatloaf is great, man. There's turkey meatloaf. Yum. Love it.
Yeah, my wife hates onions, and she just saw all of the onions you're putting in it, and I was like, I'm making this. You can't even stop it. This train's rolling.
It's a lot of onions, but if she doesn't like onions, I would suggest maybe caramelizing them. Takes a little bit of time. Get them in a pan. Teeny tiny little butter. Just keep stirring and stirring and stirring. They're going to burn on the bottom a little bit. That's okay. Keep adding water. Pick up that color off the bottom. Completely changes the taste of an onion. So it tastes caramelized. It gives it a nice, like she might be that way. And then throw your meatloaf and you're good to go.
I'm gonna try that, and I'm gonna make her eat it, like I said. But
I mean, either way, come on, we've got so much ketchup on the top that you can't taste the onions.
I do appreciate you being on the show tonight. It's kind of a big night for us. Like this is our guy. This is our go-to. We are Mutant fam through and through. And yeah, we're all here. And I just always want to do something special. I kind of want to join in the fun. I think we did this last time when he had his special in August, and you were a guest then as well. And I figured let's do this again. Of course, I did not want to step on any toes. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's our night, right? Obviously.
Yeah, and let's add him in here. We got Frank here.
Frank!
What's up?
Brian, Mick, how you guys doing?
It's great to see you, man. I'm doing well. I see that you have the Joe Bob Gulag on in the background. I love it.
Yes, of course. The second I saw someone tweet about it, I threw it on immediately.
Yes.
Is that the actual countdown too?
What was that?
Are they running after the countdown too? No trailer with crickets?
I hope they're going to the trailer with crickets. I figured it was like a gulag for an hour and then the countdown for an hour. My assumption, I don't know.
We're going to find out in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we sure are.
I have no idea what time it is.
I think they should add the Joe Bob Gulag to just the normal Gulag. We should be able to watch this.
All day, every day. I'd have it on in the background as I work.
Yes. Well, it's starting in about an hour, a little over an hour here, and we're all excited. But I played the Halloween 3, original Monster Vision at the beginning of this, introduction, and I want to know what you guys think. Is it going to be Halloween 3 tonight? Are we going to finally see it?
Of course, it's going to be Halloween 3, right, Frank?
I think if it's not, there's going to be riots in the street.
Pitchforks tonight, but we forgot. I forgot at least.
I got my torch and pitchfork ready. I'm happy with whatever it is. I think people are leaning too heavy on assuming it's going to be Halloween 3. Like, let's not be upset if it's not.
Oh no, I mean we still get Joe Bob, and we're going to get some great Halloween movies. So I'm good either way, but I feel like Darcy needs this. She needs this win.
I think if we get Halloween 3, it's probably going to be like Christmas or the Easter special or just some random. It's not going to be Halloween. That's not how he works.
Yeah, it's too on the money.
How it worked last year, and quite frankly, I think a lot of people were disappointed because he played Halloween on Halloween. That's not what we expect Joe Bob to do, right?
Well, I was trying to pick apart like his the picture he put out where he's holding the cabin. I'm like, is it Evil Dead? Are you giving us Evil Dead? Like, I'm all for it.
I'm going for
Evil
two.
Dead 2.
Yeah.
I'm 100% on board for that. That'd be a great movie to show. But yeah. Did you guys guess? Did you put in guesses this week?
I always say I agree with everyone else who guessed. And so that way, no matter who guessed, I'm going to be like, I was with you.
Where's my prize?
Yeah. Brian put in 2 guesses. He broke the law.
Darcy accepted both of them. A week ago or so, I guessed Invasion of the Blood Farmers, 1972, because it also has druids, and it's amazing. Go with the 1972 because nobody's sick of my birthday like a week ago. Let's keep to but great movie, and it has druids and Halloween 3. But then I started looking at the poster and the clues, and I didn't catch the 31-year thing or whatever until somebody said it this morning. So I changed my votes, and I think this, honestly, is pretty solid. It's got the cabin from Evil Dead, like you said. So I said Evil Dead 2, got on Google, started searching 31 years forward and backwards for both Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2, and came up with Necrotronic, I think it is. Necrotronic, excuse me, which happens to be a Shudder exclusive, is 31 years after Evil Dead 2. And it has druids. So maybe.
You'd go real hard with the research, like a lot of people are just throwing random. You're like, I dug into the Wikipedias and I looked up every year of release. I cross-referenced druids. I looked up anything with a cabin. It's like, bro, when do you work? When do you sleep? Like,
That's what
I
Joe
get nothing though.
Joe's got a lot to do. If he's going to put those clues out there, we need to respect the clues.
Well, I'm going to let you respect the clues, and I'll just agree with whatever. Because now that you're putting in this much work,
me and Nick have the same method here. I agree with him. So Daniel Gowell in chat wants to know what you're drinking, Brian.
Oh,
I'm watching chat right now. Shout out to Kenyon. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to John. We got a couple people hanging with us.
Yeah, we got. I want to say thank you to Whiskey for letting me know that it was the fog that had no mustache. I completely forgot. And Brian Starcy is legendary. I do agree.
Yeah, it's horrifying. I'm sure every time I see a picture, Darcy like gets one gray hair like somewhere. Stop it! She does the Atkins. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop posting the picture.
And Whiskey's all having fun tonight. He's here. He sees Frank. And then Tim here.
Yeah, me.
Whiskey says, H3 or we riot.
Right? I know.
This is COVID.
2020 or not, right? I mean, this could be the tipping point. Forget about the election. We're going to start it like 3 weeks early and mutants are gonna be in the streets like rioting. And
we'll be right out there. No, Halloween 3. Wait, what are we doing here? What's this in the And mutantfandom.com, our favorite.
That's me. I'm just chatting while I go. I got the phone in my hand.
They better not show frogs. You guys just showed frogs.
Yeah, we just. I wasn't like a giant fan of that movie. It was like it was what it was.
Also known as Toads. Also known as what's in that dude's pants.
Yeah. Exactly. I loved Season of the Witch. That movie was real good. Like you turned us on to that like at 3 a.m, and I thought it was gonna be a slower burn than it was, but it kept me fucking awake until 5 still, you know.
That was because you got Daddy Man's extremely drunk commentary from his college paper the whole entire time, whether you wanted it or not.
Yeah, right. I know. It felt like we were looking at a dissertation. We were like getting real intellectual over it.
Total women's lib movie. It is like the start of the women's lib movement, and that was what he was portraying in that movie. It was really good.
Right. Michael joined us. Stacy joined us. Man, the whole crew's joining in.
Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate that. This might be the best show I had on this Friday night.
Nice.
The ratings are up.
Me and Brian bring the gang.
Where's the chat room? All I see is it might look. Hold on. I see the chat. I was in the private chat. I'm like nothing's happening in the private chat.
Oh, what do you got? Oh, there you go. I didn't know you could look on the right there. Cool.
Yeah, the Freddy sweater on Ernie is like the piece.
I couldn't tell it was a Freddy sweater at first. It looked to me like he was cut into portions. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
And then he moved his head and you're like, what?
Yeah, I think it was a statue at first or something, but then someone said it was a Freddy sweater. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot.
Isn't it the lizard that can like break its tail off and like regrow it?
Yeah, right. So
remember in like Florida, what was it, like a year ago when it got real cold and then they were just freezing and falling out of trees?
I do remember that. Yeah, I remember you reading about that.
Nobody touched them because they'll come back to life once it stops freezing. Okay. We got, the countdown has begun.
Oh yeah, it switched over. Look at that.
Yeah, Daniel's doing the absinthe all night long. He's doing absinthe shots all night long in between drinks, he said.
Good luck.
I don't know how you're making that one.
He's going to be watching Halloween 3 no matter what we're watching.
And we got Mutant Pride. And, I'm very happy about the Mutant Pride because I want to promote a bit because we're just over a week away from the Mutant Halloween 24-hour marathon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I keep doing it.
I'm very excited. I know you guys are. Kicks off at 2 p.m. on Halloween and goes to 2 p.m. on November 1st. Right. I'm sure everybody watching knows about it, but anybody watching after this, I want them to make sure they know where to
go.
Yeah, there's a bunch of movies. They're streaming on every different service, whether it's Prime or Shudder, or some of them I think are only available on YouTube. I believe the movie we're starting with that Brianna Whipple is hosting, I think Trick or Treat is only on YouTube, right? If I'm not wrong.
I think so.
So we'll be announcing as they start where you can watch them. But yeah, we'll be live tweeting. We'll be hanging out for 24 hours straight.
24 hours.
Get a good night's sleep the night before. Although we'll be doing like some sort of Friday night fright that night too, so we'll probably be up to 5 a.m.
Haunted house night next week. Haunted house night.
Right? We don't stop. So like Friday, we'll do Friday night frights. We'll do midnight marathon until 5 a.m. My sugar glider's barking right now. We'll sleep for like 5 hours. We'll wake up. We'll do a 24-hour marathon, and then we're not even going to cancel Bloody Sunday the next day. Bloody Sunday is going to be at 2:00 right after the 24-hour marathon. So we're going 26 hours. That's the after party.
Yeah.
You maniacs.
Yeah. Kenyon, what did we say we were going to watch again? What did we go with? Society? We're going to do a Joe Bob version of Society, I think.
Nice.
For to close out like as an after party to Mutant Halloween.
You guys are crazy. I'm gonna try and make every bit of that, and I'll sleep in my chair. It's not like I'm going anywhere, but
right.
I mean, it's 12 movies. There's definitely take a nap. I mean, pace yourself. There's got to be one movie where you're like,
I've seen this one a few times.
Try to mix it up so everybody gets a little bit of something. There's like a double feature of Hammer at the very beginning. We're doing Vampire Circus and Vampire Lovers, little Hammer double feature. Waxworks and Fright Night, obviously at the prime time spots. Amazing, right?
I had to go meta when I picked Fright Night. I was like, if I don't go meta with this, I don't know what's going to happen. You had to get the Roddy McDowell, Peter Vincent in there, horror host.
Who are all of our sponsors? We got the 6 OGs that we do every holiday with, Mutant Theater, Mutant Cafe, MutantFam.com, Killer Horror Critic, Monster Movie Happy Hour, and Ritual Light and Sound. Ritual, I'm saying that right, I think.
Yeah.
Then we got the Scene Snob, we got Old Men's Club, we got
Castle of Horror,
Survivor Guild, Castle of Horror,
Brianna,
Yeah.
Old Man's Club, you said.
Yeah.
Monster Movie Happy Hour, you said. I'm looking here.
Trying to think all 12.
Sorry for the last person that we forgot. We literally just named 11 of the 12.
Whoa. My brain just knocked my computer over. The Hamburger Helper Hand.
I said Survivor's Guild.
Oh, you said that. I'm like, Halloween.
Halloween year round.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Halloween year round.
beautiful.
There you go.
Who does the Thursday night watch-alongs as well? I forget what he calls them, but
Yeah. I don't know about this. Like this is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Dude,
we're gonna be mutants, like literal mutants.
right? I explain this to people. I meet people. I talk to people online, and like that aren't part of this, and like I explain it to family members or like old friends, and they're like, "Oh, what have you been doing to get through COVID and to like not be social distance?" I'm like, bro, I haven't ever talked to as many people in my entire life. Like this is the most social I've ever been doing everything. And then like I'll be out front. My neighbors are trying to be real friendly. They're like, it's Friday night. You want to sit up front and drink beers? No, I got things to do. You guys.
DJ, a hot online show that starts at midnight and goes for 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, then 20 to 30 people come and hang out.
Interactions.
20 or 30
It just happened. It's funny because Frank did a 24-hour marathon on Valentine's Day over at mutantfam.com, and that kind of kicked. I was doing Mutant Cafe at that time, but Mutant Theater had taken a break. So Frank started this. Chris and I from Mutant Theater started talking to Frank about let's get it going again, and it kind of just all happened. I mean, fortuitously, I guess, right when COVID started to snap, like beginning of March, we started. I know Killer Horror Critic, he wanted to do a St. Patrick's Day thing, which was literally when everybody was locking down. So we did the St. Patrick's Day thing, and then that next Friday we started heavy Friday Night Frights, and we've been going since like March, no breaks other than Joe, Bob, and Darcy.
Right, and it's like gathered new people every week. We started like kind of small. Like there would be like 4 of us, 5 of us, and we would treated it like it was a party no matter what. Like, and now we get like 40 people on a Friday night, easy tweeting along, like 40, 50 people. And then like I like the idea that you have a lot of people saying, I'm watching with my wife, I'm watching with my kid, I'm watching with a friend, I'm watching with 2 friends. So like if you think about the people who aren't tweeting, they just happen to be in a living room with a few people. We got a ton of people watching frogs.
Watching Grave of the Fireflies.
Crushing your soul. Man, dude, I had to go out for a walk for a little while after that and just like reevaluate my life. Like, what am I doing? Why am I watching this shit?
It was one of my absolute proudest moments to have Darcy tweet, I don't understand how you're live tweeting this movie.
Yeah. It's like a few people
tweeted that. We can't all be Joe Bob, and we can't all be home runs.
Yeah, come on, Darcy, you understand.
Right.
She loves the movie, I'm sure. The frogs, yeah, that was a tough one.
That was amazing. Come on. Well, the problem was, here's the deal. Like a lot of people don't get, and this is behind the scene, and you're starting to learn now that you're part of the Halloween marathon. Like you don't know what the streaming services and Shudder are gonna do. So you can plan all you want, but you could wake up the morning of your gig and like, oh hey, that movie's not shown anymore. So like 1972 was the theme last week, and man, there are some amazing 1972 movies. I sent them like a list of like 40 movies that I absolutely adore from 1972, and literally, Frank, like 4 of them maybe were streaming because it's 1972, and then Frank looks for his little gigs, behind the scenes links here and there or whatever, and there's just not a lot of 1972 movies. So Frogs it is. I mean, again, that movie was awesome.
Invasion of the Blood Farmers was one of the first ones I wanted to play, actually. Invasion of the Blood Farmers is one on my list here, but then we ended up going with Gargoyles and Tales from the Crypt. And
fun. Gargoyles was awesome.
Right? That was a cool movie.
A great movie.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Super fun.
So I feel like anybody who makes the full 24 hours, not you guys excluded, okay?
They're obviously going to make it. Clearly.
But anybody who makes that full 24-hour swing and watches it all the way through, they got to get something.
They get our respect. Yeah. and that's really hard to get.
Back when Mutant Theater and I did Friday the 13th, like 4-part marathon, we talked about mugs, and I've thought about that before, maybe for like the, if you guys want to pay for them, I'll do them up. I'm not fronting like, 800 beer steins or whatever that say like, I survived Mutant Halloween. Selling on the street corner for like $1.50 so I can pay rent.
Well, Justin says that respect is such a reward, so we'll stick with that.
I like respect.
Yeah, we'll go with the beer signs down the line.
I mean, in the future, we're talking about other holidays, although Frank and Chris and I were just talking today. It sounds like Darcy's hinting towards Thanksgiving, which I'm praying is a rewatch of all 4 movies from the best holiday, the Last Drive-In special, Dinners of Death. That's what I'm hoping she's hinting at. And then I don't know if you guys caught it, but Brennan leaked, and I'm just going to say it and spread it even wider on a podcast that they are doing a Christmas special.
Oh, that's cool. So they're going to do an official
my interview that I did with them last week.
Oh, nice.
Keep spreading it and digging it in further.
I absolutely, anybody who wants to check that out, it's on thescenesnobs.com. But that interview was so much fun. And he even sang me one of his songs. That's all.
He's such a nice guy, man.
He really is. And just pissed me off to tell me that somebody came to Joe Bob every year for 17 years and asked him to do a version of his show, and he said yes every time, and they never followed through.
Right. I mean, Frank and I got about 50. We could have put it together. Why didn't you call us?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, what? Man, I should have done it.
And John is such a cool guy. It's a tribute. I think it's a tribute to like someone in the entertainment industry. You look at the people around them, and that tells you how cool and nice they are. He's got himself surrounded with the most awesome people, which just proves what a cool guy he is. Like,
yeah. He really is, and you can just tell. And I think we've all met him at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just.
I met him 3 days before New York shut down. He came to Long Island on like March 12th or 11th. And like I was certain that this event was going to be canceled. I was like, I brought a mask with me, an N95, but at that point it was like weird to wear masks. No one was doing it yet. So I walked into this theater and I just was like, if anyone coughs, I'm fucking out of here. And like that next Monday, all the schools shut down and my daughter didn't go back until September. So like I was just so grateful that we still got through that.
It's so crazy to be in October now and look back at that and be like, that's where we were.
So
we're no better. It's not even better. We're just like, okay, let's open back up.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can't watch these kids forever.
For now,
you guys take care of them.
Yeah.
But
right.
I'm ready to lock down. We locked down in Chicago anyhow. It gets really, really cold here. So we locked down for 5 months anyhow.
I'm ready to as well, just because of the cold.
Yeah.
See, I like the cold because I'm big. So I just don't want to sweat all the time.
Right. You're like Hubs. Hubs like anything over like 68, and Hubs is like, it's so hot. Turn the air conditioning on.
My wife is always cold, and I'm just like, too bad. Air conditioning stays on.
My fingers are right now. I open the window to smoke this, and I haven't even been smoking. Can I smoke on your show? Is this a child show?
No.
Click the
I don't know what it is because this is the most viewers we've ever had. So like I'm still kind of gauging. There's an average.
Because I threw it out to everyone and I tagged them all in it. I said, "Come hang out." Tim is a child. Tim, if he's in his early 20s, so I don't feel like that's appropriate in front of Tim.
Tim is a hot baby.
We joke around with him and Mary because they were born in the 90s, and we're like, "Oh my god."
And just because I'm required, did we watch The Baby on the Midnight Marathon?
What about watching The Baby? Your favorite movie ever?
I said, just because I'm required to say it on everything I'm on. We watched The Baby on Midnight Marathon.
You have mentioned that pretty much every video, every chat we've ever been in. Like, it's a good, respectable movie. We did that with Mutant Theater at one point. You must not have been there because that's the first time I ever seen it was a Mutant Theater night, like a year or two ago. If Chris is here, I think he is. Maybe he remembers.
So wrong.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Baby?
I have not.
Ugh.
I have to check it out.
And that is 90 minutes of your life well spent not watching that movie.
Well, I gotta wait for it to come around the horn. I want to watch it with you guys.
Yeah.
And
We can watch it again.
Movies on Midnight Marathon. So you might get a double feature of that and
Deathbed, the bed that kills.
But if you watch Deathbed, you got to follow it up with its counterpart, Killer Sofa.
We watched Killer Sofa for 420 this year. Just a handful of us. It was very few of us, but we did Killer Sofa and Evil Bong. So yeah,
those perfect movies to pair together. It's like a fine wine.
There's a refrigerator one we watched too, isn't there?
You didn't do The Baby, Chris? I could have sworn. Yeah, we watched the movie. It's called The Refrigerator.
And let's not
follow that up with the list.
We did The Elevator for Mutant Theater.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So what do we have in store? So if you're doing a 24-hour marathon on Halloween, what is Friday Night Frights going to look like?
The night before, it's going to look like it looks every Friday. We're going to do a double feature. We're going to be in Cosme for Midnight Marathon until 4 or 5 a.m. Sometimes I start falling asleep around 3:34, but I'm like, there'll be like 7, 8 people up, and I'm like, all right, I got to put another movie on for you motherfuckers. Go to sleep. 12 hours.
Stare at a blank screen, 4 in the morning. Frank. I'm making a mutant bar. I like the bars because I'm up here in the Midwest, and a vanilla bar with a cream cheese swirl. And then about 3/4 of the way through the baking time, we're going to take all those little fun-sized candies, chop the shit out of them, throw them on the top, throw it back in the oven, and let them just start to melt. Cut that sucker up. Mutant bar.
Sounds amazing. I cannot wait. What's the first movie of the night? What do you start off Halloween with?
So Chris is saying now we're probably going to do one movie because actually, as a matter of fact, Joe, Bob, and Darcy are doing a live thing at 10 o'clock on Halloween night, right? Or the night before?
Yeah, they're doing it on Friday night. Yeah,
So
Friday
on
night,
the
10 o'clock.
30th at 10 o'clock, they're doing some like similar to their Friday the 13th watch along last year, where we all did what was it, Jason Lives.
Yep.
I wish they'd reach out to me again and let us like help through the site, but they're like doing it on their own. Whatever, it is what it is. They don't need me. And
They're big Hollywood stars now.
yeah.
In fairness, it would be a better format if they asked for the help. I love them, but
yeah, I mean, it was a ton. I loved that. That was so much fun. I had like Friday the 13th up on the screen, then them watching it up on another screen and stuff. So that's what I imagine they're going to do on Halloween again. And we're thinking about doing an 8 p.m. movie instead of 9, like Chris is saying in chat right now, just to like have like a pre-show to their thing. And now that I think of it, we're going to really be playing this by ear. Because like if they're doing their own movie, who knows how late it's gonna go. I figure if it's a 2-hour movie, like then we could go right into Midnight Marathon. I could probably like use that as a good jumping off point to like build an even bigger crowd. Because I'm like, hey, everyone that was watching Joe Bob, jump into Cosme. So that's what's great about Cosme is that like it's really like we try to plan things, we try to have an idea of what we're gonna watch, but like someone could say, hey, I want to watch this instead, and I'll abruptly just put on a different movie. I don't give a fuck. And so, we'll just figure out what we're going to do that night.
Chris, should we announce a movie? He's in the chat.
Yeah, Chris, what do you want to announce? What movie are we going to watch?
let's do this. I'll pull it up.
He was
And we're
saying,
still,
Drum roll, please.
make a decision in the moment.
yeah, we'll wait for him. It's not
If it's
here
the
yet.
last movie you said, I'm off. Oh, okay. Is it the last one you said, Chris? I think it is.
House?
We change all the time.
Yeah.
We have these little high on moments at like 2 a.m. on Friday. We're like, oh my God, let's do booger movies, this and this. And then the next day we're like, what were those 2 movies we were talking about? I can't remember. I don't know.
Right.
That sounds like how I do all my shows. So, works out well.
Well, and that's what was so great about the Joe Bob and Darcy like Friday the 13th thing. It was so last minute, and we already had a Friday the 13th thing going on. There you go, Chris. Yeah,
House of One.
House of 1,000 corpses. House of One. Minus the 999. House of 1,000 corpses at 8 o'clock after Mutant Cafe. So it's haunted house night. I don't know what Joe Bob and Darcy are. She hasn't made a single indication what they're showing.
It doesn't matter. She'll announce it in the moment, and everyone will watch along, and it'll be a ton of fun.
100%.
Yeah, she could literally show a blank screen for 2 hours and have 1.4 million people watching.
Well, so you could tell that Joe Bob during the Friday the 13th one was like a little bit turned off by how low production quality it was.
Yeah.
But then like we're all like, this is fucking amazing. It's like you're in the living room with us. This is the best thing I've ever watched. And it's like he wants it to be Monster Vision. He wants it to be the Last Drive-In. And when it's just him with his like hair a little messy and like a projection screen and a bad camera on a computer, he thinks people aren't going to like it. When in reality, we're like, this is the best thing you could ever do. It just shows that you really want to be hanging out with your fans. Like you truly just are part of the community.
Yeah.
That's what I said the last time you had us on. Like, that's where Joe Bob is brilliant because he brought Darcy in, and Darcy is like right on the money with that, the vibe of what everybody's asking for. And put the two together, the chocolate and peanut butter, man, they're great together. They really are. I love all the other people, but Darcy has had, to me, the most, synergy and propels him into new stuff. Got the Hogzilla and just, I love it. I mean, what Monster Vision days, would you ever imagine Joe Bob talking about like vegan cooking with Cannibal Holocaust? And that's coming from Darcy's influence, and I love it.
Really is. And they do. You're right. It's peanut butter cup right there. It's perfect. It's the perfect thing. She's, not to knock any of the other male girls who I loved, and they were fantastic. But the rapport just wasn't right. At the time it was right. Okay, he's sleazy, and that let's just keep dropping his knocking back his advances. But Joe Bob and Darcy, they just have that perfect. I don't know that repartee, I guess. They complement each other so well, and I love it. But so we're getting started soon. The countdown is commencing. How do we go into this marathon? I want some tips. I want some food tips. I want some drink tips. What do you guys think? What are some snacks that you're going to have for this marathon coming up next week?
Oh, for next week. Yeah. So.
For the 24-hour marathon?
Yeah, we can go to tonight after this.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going in with this.
Yeah, right. I got my beer. This is my snack.
Well,
mine's in the fridge.
We always have food prepped. Like, have stuff in it's a 24-hour marathon. Obviously, I looked at most of these movies. We got a good 20-minute break in between all of them, but it's not enough time to cook anything. So, have stuff marinated if it's not already cooked. Lots of salads and, just have munchy stuff in general. Coffee, like at the ready, obviously, because we're watching Triangle at midnight. Don't fall asleep for Triangle at midnight.
Yeah. We got a clown double
feature. It's an amazing movie. You gotta pay attention, and it's midnight, and it's after Fright Night, and you're gonna be lit and pumped, but keep going. And then we got the clown double feature
for 2 and 4 a.m. Yeah,
you're not. And then 6 o'clock in the morning, we got Lords of Salem, which I purposely put at 6 o'clock in the morning because if anything's gonna wake you up, Lords of Salem.
I think that, like Triangle, definitely. If people haven't watched that, they need to. You got to stay up for it. It's a hell of an ending. I'll give it that. Like I really enjoyed it. It is kind of a slow burn.
Don't spoil anything. Evan will be pissed.
Evan's actively going on Twitter and being like, "Stop spoiling my shit."
And don't watch it before Halloween.
Yeah, just watch it on Halloween because it's very intriguing.
It's a great movie. You all like it.
And then you have Killer Clowns, which is like, hey, Killer Clowns. It's a great movie. It's fun. It's shot really well. And then you have, is it Clown or Killer Clowns first?
Clown first, and then Killer Clowns.
First. So you're going to come off.
No, other way. It's Killer Clown. Oh, we did.
We flipped because John's 2 time zones that way, so it's 2 a.m. for him. So instead of me going at 4 a.m. and him going at whatever, we switched it.
Yeah. I gotta check. I think we're advertising that wrong. I'll check. I forgot about that switch.
I don't think at 2 a.m. anyone's gonna be like. I guess we have to have them start the right movie, but yeah, they'll figure it out.
We'll get you there. We always get you there, like we do on Fridays. Where and when to be tweets every 45 minutes. Yeah. We won't, no mutant left behind. That was Mutant Theater's original slogan. No mutant left behind. We will drag you through the sucker if we have to. You will love us.
Well, we can't promise that.
If I can gush a little bit, you guys with the Mutant Fam. But you guys with the Mutant Fam have done awesome work. You're really keeping the community together in the off season, especially. But we're having such a fun time. Look at this. Look at everybody joining in and just like we're all on the same page. We're all ready for tonight, and you guys are doing that. You guys are leading the charge and we love it. There's many that go into it. MutantFam.com, of course. Everybody check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, like it's so exciting. This 24-hour marathon, Friday night frights that you guys do every week is amazing. I don't know how you do it because it's so much.
We like talking and hanging out with each other to begin with. So it's like we're sitting here talking all week as is. Watching the movies is just icing on the cake. Like if it weren't for the fact that we got along so well, all of us that do the holiday things or just the Friday Night Fright, we got to call out Monster Movie Happy Hour, Dave, Scott, and Mary. We all just like hanging out and talking with each other. So like, what else am I going to do on a Friday night? It's not work.
That was always the best Friday nights when we were younger. It's just renting a movie and hanging out, right, with your friends. Yeah. So
everybody wants to hang in anyhow. I mean, you just got back from work last. I never got people who want to go out on Friday nights. I'm like, Saturday night I'll go out, but Friday nights I'm tired. I just want to hang out with people and hang out. And like Frank said earlier, behind the scenes, like it's so funny. Frank, Chris, and I like literally we can within an hour play off each other and have weeks planned. It's strange. Like we've been doing it for. What is that, 9 months now, at least, all 3 of us, and then Chris and I before that for almost a year. Like We know what you like. We're paying attention too. Like a lot of times you don't know we're listening, but we're listening. We see your tweets. We know what you want.
You do pick some fun ones. I would definitely say that.
Shroom Night definitely was fun. Daniel Luz and Dr. Caligari. Yeah. And then that was The Baby and The Refrigerator and Deathbed. I just tried to find living,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
living objects, because when you're tripping out, sometimes things start talking to you and shit. So I figured.
That does, yeah. That's the perfect way to put it. Those are the movies you need during Shroom Night. Mix it up. You gotta get the hamburger helper mixed up with the shrooms, and you're good.
We did VD night after because you had fun while you were on shrooms and didn't remember what you did until you started itching on Wednesday. So we had VD night on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't even imagine.
See where our brains go, and amazingly, we think of that in just minutes. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
quality programming.
What I do want to touch down on something before we go or anything like that. So, what Mutant Palooza is on November 13th?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I was gonna bring it up if you didn't. Thank you.
No, absolutely. It was definitely on there. Because I want to promote everything. I want to promote everything that's going on for anybody who watches this going forward, or so they know what's going on in the Mutant fam. But like Mutant Palooza, tell us about it. How's it going to work?
So Mutant Palooza is a 13-hour marathon. So after we finish our 24-hour marathon on Halloween, that's going to be like nothing. But the big difference is that it's all going to stream through Cosme. So like Midnight Marathon that we do every Friday night is all through Cosme. I could just press play on a movie and it just streams live for everyone. So for the last 6 months, I've been requesting that people send movies in. So Mutant Fam members have been sending their movies to me. So I got 20 short films and 6 feature-length films. We got Greywood's Plot by Josh Stifter, 3 Days Dead by John M. Ware, Psycho Ape by Addison Benek, After School Lunch Special by Andrew Chambers, Overtime by BJ Cunnings, and The Head by Michael Keane. And so I haven't watched all of those yet, but I've watched Psycho Ape, I've watched Greywood's Plot, I've watched 3 Days Dead. Psycho Ape is fucking so good. Like, you guys don't know what the hell you are gonna see. Like, he kickstarted it a few months back. He got $7,000 through Kickstarter. He just finished it and released it 2 weeks ago as a digital version to just the Kickstarter backers, and he just got DVDs in the mail yesterday. He got 20 DVDs. They sold out overnight. So now he's pre-ordering another 50. And the only way to see this movie is if you were a Kickstarter backer, you bought one of the 20 DVDs, or you show up to Mutant Palooza on November 13th. And so this dude, I can't tell you. I messaged him. I was like, I don't say this lightly. You're a fucking genius. I was like, this movie is so good. And I expected for it to be like a cheap, fun, like silly movie, but man, terrific. Josh Stifter did The Good Exorcist. I don't know if anyone here has seen that. And then Greywood's Plot, which a bunch of us went to a live stream of Greywood's Plot in March or May. He did through his site. I'm sure a few of you here. I think Stacy was there. I think Michael might have been there. Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited about the killer apes that I, sorry.
Yeah.
I was actually, because I believe that dude had something to do with my pick for tonight's movie.
Who had something to do with your pick?
I believe it's sent from the producers of Greywood, if I remember.
Yeah, Josh is all over the place. Josh Stifter posts on Twitter all day long, and he's always part of the Mutant Fam stuff. So he submitted his movie, which, like, when I started the site, mutantfam.com, in December of last year, and I tried to do the Valentine's Day marathon. 3 Days Dead was the only feature-length movie that day by John M. Ware, and I was like, oh my god, I got a real movie from a real movie maker. And now I know better. John Ware's not a real movie maker. Just kidding.
I
love John. But now it's a couple months later, and we're gonna stream 3 Days 3 Days Dead again because it's a fun movie to watch. But we have these 5 other movies that are like, when you watch Psycho Ape and when you watch Greywood's Plot, like, they are legit, highly produced, good movies. 3 Days Dead is a low budget, like not like there's still like some sound issues. There's like you're like, okay, well, I couldn't see this being on Amazon Prime. Greywood Spot you could see being on Amazon Prime. As a matter of fact, his first movie, The Good Exorcist, is on Amazon Prime and Tubi. And so I'm just super excited that like these legit filmmakers are now like submitting their movies, and like we got 20 short films that were submitted. Some of them are like really, really low budget. Some of them are decent budget, and just gonna be awesome. We're gonna watch these movies with the filmmakers themselves. They'll be in the chat hanging out with us. There'll be some of the actors in the chat. So it's just going to be like hanging out with the filmmakers, watching their films.
Nice.
And the chat function is super easy. We all can handle it at midnight after drinking and watching, the Mutant Theater things, and we handle it until 5 a.m. It's super fun. Randos come in, don't know who we are. We scare the fuck out of them. We run into her. It's so much fun. That's a great system that Frank discovered. I feel like they owe you some money.
TYTD Reviews, my buddy Dan from England, he's the one that introduced it to me. He did a couple of watch-alongs last year. We did The Wicker Man at one point. I was like, oh, this will work. And yeah, so when you're in Cosme, you can just scroll and see that there's watch parties going on. So any random person can join. And like we'll be watching like the goriest, grossest shit on earth. And they'll come in and be like, oh, hey, okay, bye.
Like, a 40-year-old man in a diaper, maybe. That didn't scare anyone out of the room.
Yeah.
Whiskey calls them interlopers.
They're awesome. And we're like, bye.
We had this like young teenager come in a week or two ago, and she's like, how old are all you guys? And like I think it was Ward was like, I'm a 12-year-old girl. Tee hee hee. And she kept on changing her age. She's like, oh, I'm 18. And then a little bit later, she's like, well, I'm 17. And I was like, I kicked her out. I was like, I don't need underage kids sitting in here with us. So I was like, that makes me a little nervous. I don't want them to be like, I just seen this crazy shit in this chat room. Like,
yeah. But it is an awesome program, and I need to get on board and start using it myself.
Even I did on Saturday. I usually have a birthday party here in Chicago where I do like 4 movies, soup bar and stuff like that. And obviously I couldn't this year, so I started with 5 movies, turned out to be like 7 movies with some of the midnight marathon marauders is what I call them. And some friends here all jumped in on the same system. It's super easy to use. It's fun. But
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen it with the Friday Night Fright. So it does seem really easy to use, really nice, and kind of laid out for you. So I love when it's friendly, because then my brain doesn't work.
You don't even need an account either, which is cool. You could just click on the link, show up, and then you're an anonymous animal. If you don't have a username, you show up as like anonymous penguin or something. So we always have a lot of fun with that. Like, who's the anonymous kangaroo? Is it Evan?
And speaking from the perspective of someone who does a 24-hour horror marathon at an old theater with like shit ass seats that you're sitting in for 24 hours, this is the future of like marathons and long screenings, man. You're on your couch. You could not be more comfortable. You're in your underwear, you're in whatever, and on your couch. This is the way to watch movies. It's gonna happen. I think
especially watching movies that you can't really find anywhere. Like, they're not going to show that on the big screen,
Or movies like Frank is showing. I mean, we're not gonna these movies may not have a chance to hit, like you said, Amazon. So this is, I think, the future. I think COVID. I work in a company that does like conferences and stuff like that. COVID has changed the way we do things. What Frank is doing right now with Midnight Marathon and with the Mutant Palooza is going to catch fire. And it'll be the way we start doing stuff like that. Because again, you go to Telluride or all these big fancy festivals, and you cram all these movies in, but in between you got to eat, and you're at a hotel, and you're tired of it. You're at your home. Like, it couldn't be more convenient,
Right. And Mutant Palooza was planned before COVID hit. So I mean, I was like, it's gonna be so. What's that? What's F This Movie Fest? Like they do an all-at-home film festival, and I hadn't heard of it until Brian turned me on to it. So I messaged them a little bit back and forth, and so I didn't want to announce Mutant Palooza as the first all-at-home movie festival. I was going to announce it as the second, because F This Movie had already been doing it. Tweet-along movie festival. And then suddenly COVID hit, and like some festival in North Carolina did their stuff at home. and every other festival in the world started doing it. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, all right. So they're opening the door for it. It doesn't limit now what Mutant Palooza can be. It's rising tides bring all shit with it. And if now they're making it seem normalized, now suddenly Mutant Palooza could actually seem like a legit thing, as opposed to like, what do you mean it's an at-home movie festival? Well, now fucking all movie festivals are at home.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. We did that. I worked for Skyline Indie Film Festival here in Virginia in September. We were sponsored that, and my buddy who I partnered with on our podcast, Pulling Focus, which is a filmmaking podcast, he runs it. He's been running it for 9 years. And he just went all virtual this year. He had to, like, that's just what it was. And yeah, it worked out well. I think you're right. It's the future of what's to be. You can still do it. People can still go when things get normal, but you should have this option to kind of put your reach out there,
100%. Mutant Theater, Chris is saying right now. So Mutant Palooza as an idea started 2 years ago, when I think it was even before Mutant Theater was called Mutant Theater. It was like the Live In Will Never Die or something. A bunch of us were like, we got to get together. All the Mutant fam should get together someday. And we just immediately came with the term Mutant Palooza. Like, it'll be a Mutant Palooza. And so I emailed Mahoning Drive-In, which is a drive-in theater in Pennsylvania with one of the biggest 35 millimeter screens in America. And they were like, we would love to. And then like, we never really messaged again. But a month or two ago, they messaged me randomly on the Mutant Fam account, and they're like, "We're talking about setting up a Mutant Palooza. We're going to be scheduling our entire next year sometime in November. We're looking at July 16th and 17th possibly. So cross your fingers, mark your calendars. We may have a journey to make to Pennsylvania, all of us, for the first in-person Mutant Palooza. If they could host it, they'll figure out the movies. They'll get the licensing rights. They'll put us up for, I don't know, I guess we could camp out there or something, but that would be incredible.
Yeah, it lives 2 hours away from there.
Nice. I'm about 3 or 4, so I'm not too far. I can still drive.
Yeah, that'd be great. I would love it, because I've been there a couple of times. It's a great theater, and they did that documentary about it. I'd love to see the Mutant Palooza, the Mutant fam jump in.
Got it. So they'll be messaging me within the next 2 or 3 weeks to confirm, and then we'll start pushing the hell out of it.
Absolutely. I got you back here anytime you want to promote.
Bro.
And when you guys bring these numbers, I am promoting. I'm actually doing something more than talking to myself.
Dude, it's all good. You gotta keep it up. You build the community slowly but surely. It's consistency.
It takes. I'm over a year now, and it's just frustrating. I get it. You just gotta keep going, right? I mean, you do it for a reason.
Midnight Marathon last year, like I'd say, even like some of the, like there's an 8-hour marathon I did before the first season or the second season of Joe Bob. I sat in that chat room by myself all day. I like took off from work that day to do that, and I was like, all right, okay, is anyone coming? and then,
you were on your screen. That's back when you did the MutantFan.com drive-in screen.
When I did it through YouTube and I put it on the site. I mean, I used to a lot of work into that when I was like doing it and now like I don't even put half the work into it with Cosme because it's doing it for us kind of, but like 5 people actually show up as opposed to me sitting there like, oh, and you just keep doing it. You keep doing it by yourself. You keep like having fun. 1 person shows up, 2 people show up. You're like, oh great, there's another person here, and eventually 20 people are there, and that's cool.
It is. It is a good feeling, and I wouldn't trade. I do have some loyal followers, and I love that. And, they watch the different shows, so I would not trade that for anything. So I always appreciate them.
And there's nary a bad apple in the Mutant Fan bunch, right? So that's what makes it kind of cool. It doesn't matter who's there, how many people are there, or how little people are there. What you're getting is quality. You're still getting an A+ crowd, no matter who's there or how many people are there. So that's what's cool. We all love the same thing, and we're yearning to talk about it. So.
With everything that happened this year, and the Mutant Fam has always been great. The Mutant Fam is accepting and they're loving, and I love being a part of it. Honestly, it's always fantastic. So we have a good time with it, but it is 8:42.
Yeah, we gotta go.
18 minutes.
Look in the sprinkler.
And I know everybody wants to get their snacks together. Everybody wants to get, probably use bathroom breaks and stuff like that. So I will not take up any more of your time. I do appreciate everybody. Brian, Frank, I appreciate you coming back on the show. I love this. I love what you guys do on the show. It's always a fun time. And everybody who's watching, thank you for joining in. We will be tweeting along tonight. It's going to be a good time. So so make sure that next week, Friday Night Frights, on Friday night, again, I don't know how you're going to do it. I'm going to try. I'm going to try it all 3 days.
He's going to be doing cocaine, he said. So
yeah, right. I have another Twitter handle, Cocaine R Us. You could just hit me up over there. Or Cocaine R Us. We bought stock in Starbucks actually. They're a new sponsor.
I'm running on Dunkin'. I need that tall iced coffee. But I'm excited. The 24-hour marathon. I'm very excited. I'm very appreciative that you guys are having me on. And I get to host one of my favorite movies, so I can't wait. Everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. Let's enjoy Joe Bob. Let's go out. Let's tweet each other and tweet. Let's twit. I'm going to change it. Let's twit each other. And just have a great time.
I'll twitch all right.
Now, are you doing tonight? Are you doing the chat tonight?
Oh, no, because, Joe Bob will go to 2 a.m., so now I'm not doing anything tonight. I'm just enjoying the fun and drinking a lot and trying to pass out by like 2:30. It's an early night. It's an early night when I pass out by 2:30 on a Friday.
Feels so weird to not be. Chris and I are just saying we feel like we should be getting ready for something or to do something. Tonight we're just like, hey, what's up? It's not our game.
Right.
We're completely good with that.
Well, I love it. Much. It's going to be a great time tonight. Again, thanks everybody for joining in. You can check out more of our shows. We have 11 shows on this channel. We have 4 more coming in the next couple of months. So
awesome.
thescenesnobs.com. Just go check them out and you can see what we have up there, and maybe it's to your liking. But if not, come hang out with us whenever we have the guys.
Scenesnob.com. Scenesnob. There you go.
I always mess that up. I'm like,
smoke another one, Daddy man.
I don't know how to point. I feel like my finger's broken. There we go.
And but the most important thing is Mutant Halloween. Remember, #Mutant Halloween to join us on Halloween night, starting 2 p.m., ending November 1st at 1 p.m. And then make sure you are there again on November 13th to watch Mutant Palooza, because that's very important. We're supporting indie filmmakers, and that's the big thing.
Hell yeah, bro.
Totally. Every single one of them were so excited. I loved those tweets as soon as you announced the movies. Just watching that glee. Like, my movie's on Mutant Palooza. It was awesome.
I know. I'm like, it was awesome. They were like, I got accepted. I was like, little do you know, everyone got accepted.
It's gotta feel so good. And I'm a big proponent for helping indie filmmakers along the way, and that is awesome what you guys are doing. So, I'm all for it. I'll be promoting it. As you saw at the beginning, I had the commercials on for the Mutant Fam, and I will definitely. You guys have any more? Throw them at me, and I'll put them up on my shows. I'll let you guys know that. So
you are amazing. It's always a pleasure. I always have so much fun talking to you. I can't wait to be on again.
Thank you, Brian.
Anytime. Thank you very much, guys. And this has been our show, and thank you for joining in. And we will talk to you next time. Well, we'll talk to you right after when Joe Bob starts.
Halloween 3.
Yes. Okay, I don't want anybody's faces.